Call roll. Or Andrew.
Deborah Neary.
Here.
Patsy Kojohns.
Here.
Lisa Fricke.
Here.
Maureen Nichols.
Here.
Rachel Wise.
Here.
Robin Stevens.
Here.
Patricia Tim.
Yes.
John Witzel.
Here.
Commissioner Bloomstead.
Present.
All present.
Thank you, Andrea. Please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Information regarding the Open Meetings Act is posted on the east wall of this room on the south side of the door. Live web streaming will be available through the State Board of Education website. Board members, please engage your microphones before speaking and turn them off when you are done speaking. And please turn off your cell phones at this time. Thank you. We will now have public comment period. This period of public comment is available for any person who wishes to address the State Board on subjects within its authority. Please note that public comment should be on topics related to the State Board's constitutional and statutory authority. Thanks to the members of the public who have attended today. We have no 10-minute special appearances today. We will now move into our 5-minute public comment period. I would like to remind you to please sign in if you've not already done so. There are sign-in cards on the back table. We have one public comment card today turned in, and the public will speak in that order. Each member of the public will have 5 minutes to speak during the public comment period. I will announce the name of our speaker immediately. With that, I'm asking Mandy Forpar to come forward, please.
Good morning. Thank you. The NSCA is committed to increasing the number of teachers of color in Nebraska classrooms. Almost 1/3 of Nebraska's children are students of color, but only 2% of educators are teachers of color. Research shows that teachers of color help close achievement gaps for students of color and are highly rated by all students. We know that one of the barriers for many prospective educators, and disproportionately among people of color, is passing the praxis exam, and I know that's something you've been talking about here at this board. We applaud your work and the work that you're doing through Rule 23's work group and your attempts to adjust what is considered a passing score. We want you to know that NSCA, through our partnership with the NEA, has invested over $200,000 in helping prospective teachers pass the praxis. Our menu of assistance available includes the following. We offer whole group tutoring sessions across the state that help students learn how to handle test anxiety, as well as review the material that will be presented on the test. We also have videotaped these sessions, and we'll be offering that video online for students to view. We provide one-to-one tutoring, hiring experienced teachers to work with students individually. Quite often, this tutoring includes helping students stay focused on the profession after they've failed the test. And it was interesting, yesterday we were talking about the encouragement component that goes into that. So that work has been continuing. And then starting this spring, we're going to be offering praxis boot camps, intensive tutoring sessions that immediately precede the test. We know that taking the praxis test can be a burden for some students, so the NSCA and the NEA support has included covering the cost of tests for a limited number of students. Because we see this burden growing beyond our resources for so many, we're in conversation with our state legislators about finding a funding source for the praxis tests. Thank you again for your work, and we look forward to your continued collaboration.
Thank you very much. We will now move on to the approval of the consent agenda. Commissioner, is there any items that needed to be separate?
No items.
Thank you, sir. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Rachel, discussion? Seeing and hearing none, Denise, please call roll. Pat and Rachel.
Neary.
Yes.
Kojons,
Yes.
Nichols,
Yes.
Fricky,
Yes.
Stevens,
Yes.
Wise,
Yes.
Tim,
Yes.
Witzel.
Yes.
8 yes.
Thank you, Andrea. Thank you very much. We'll now move on to the approval of the agenda. Commissioner Bloomstead, are there any recommended changes for today's agenda?
No changes for today's agenda.
Thank you very much. With that, is there a motion to approve today's agenda?
So moved. Second.
Mo and Patsy. Discussion? Seeing and hearing none. Andrea, please call roll.
Kojons,
Yes.
Fricky,
Yes.
Neary,
Yes.
Nichols,
Yes.
Stevens,
Yes.
Wise,
Yes.
Witzel,
Yes.
Tim.
Yes.
8
8 yes.
Thank you, Andrea. Thank you very much. In order to be respectful to our guest in the audience today, we will go to agenda item 7, special presentations and discussions. A few members participated in the September 4, 2019 educator flight. Please welcome Major Josely Kuda with the Nebraska Army National Guard Recruiting and Retention Battalion. Major, you have 10 minutes, sir.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. My commander, Lieutenant Colonel Daniel Benish, is here, and he'll be presenting. However, there were several folks. We had 12 individuals that joined us for that educator flight on 4 September. For those individuals that were there, we would like to present them a token, just for them to be able to remember. Hopefully, they all enjoyed it. I know from discussion with a few of them that they trying to get age waivers to get in.
I'm guilty as charged.
So I hope not only was it an educational, an enjoyable experience, but also an educational experience. So with that, Ms. Friesen, Ms. Rita, Ms. Fricky, Robin Stevens, Rachel Wise, John Witzel, and Dr. Four. Could you please step forward?
So this is just kind of the group photo that we took in front of the Black Hawk helicopter. And then my understanding is you guys, we didn't go on it, but you guys got, they flew you around the city, got a nice shot of Memorial Stadium and some of that, so.
Oh, you each get one, yes.
Additionally, General Lyons, you guys might know him as Mr. Lyons. Kevin. Kevin. He was with us as well, so, sir.
Thank you. For the board members, I'm pulling my school finance hat off just for a minute here. Please don't track it, sir. Anyway, as the Assistant Adjutant General for the Nebraska National Guard, basically, I have a lot of folks that work underneath me, but as you know, we've been pretty visual over the last few years in the state of Nebraska with the floods, with just any disaster weather we have. We also have soldiers that just got back from Afghanistan. So we're doing the war fight on the federal front. We're here to protect the state. We're here to assist the state in natural disasters. And the third thing we like to do is create partnerships. And that's where Dan Benish and Jocelyn Kuda come in from the recruiting and retention side, is to perform those partnerships. And I want to thank Katie Graham, which she gets one of these too. My team and her team are going to look at what resources, free resources, the Nebraska National Guard can assist the Department of Education with and moving forward. So
I'm just a mediator here. I'm letting my team do the work. I'm gonna go back to my job here in a few seconds, but what I wanted to do is from the Adjutant General, Major General Daryl Bohack, who's in Rwanda this week. That's our new partnership country, and I'm not going, but he's over there. And we want to present you a little token of our appreciation. And what this represents is the Army National Guard, the Air National Guard, and NEMA, the Nebraska Emergency Management Agency, on the back. And on the front, it's just a nice token of the Minuteman. It also identifies our warfight opportunities, or our warfight commitment, our homeland commitment, especially the state of Nebraska, and more importantly, the third one on there is partnerships. And that's what we like to develop across the board. So I'd like to present each one of you a token of our appreciation for your support.
Thank you.
No, John, I'm not signing that way.
I'm gonna work on you.
Thanks, Kevin. Thanks for everything, yeah.
It's like a casino chip.
You can use it how you want.
I would just like to add that before Kevin leaves the room, if he's leaving here shortly to get back to his job, Kevin's a former administrator and educator here in Nebraska, in central Nebraska, most of it in my district. And in my former job, lifetime, I had the opportunity to work with Kevin. And he's a true teacher advocate, true supporter of public education. And during his time of serving as administrator, was it twice you went over to Afghanistan?
Just once.
Just once?
But I went to Louisiana for 3 weeks, and that's.
Hey.
But it was just, you know, he was gone for a whole year, and he was greatly missed, and came back and got right to work. So thank you for all you've done, Kevin, for education, and
Thank you.
just educating all of us about the program that so many of our students can go into. I was so impressed when I had the opportunity a couple of years ago in Kearney to do this very venture.
Yep.
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah,
Just a
Lisa.
quick question. Thank you for the brochure. I was going
Yes.
through it. It's very appealing. So will this go to high schools as they inquire about National Guard, or automatically go to each district?
We have a meeting with the career ed folks right after this, and so that's how they're gonna start working. And we do have good connections in schools already, but we can have better connections. And the one thing is, we've always had educator flights with high school select teachers and administrators, but we've never done anything with the Nebraska Department of Education. And so that's why we put it together. And of course, I promised this guy 2 years ago a flight, and so we got him one. From what I understand, it was the best thing. It was great. So, and Robin participated, and Rachel participated, so it was a great opportunity. And you know, as I mentioned, we're here to assist where need be and create those partnerships.
Thank you. This is great.
Patsy.
Thank you for your service, first of all. And secondly, I hope that there's another flight. I didn't have an opportunity to go. I don't take up much space, and I'd love to go as soon as possible.
We are looking for nicer weather.
I can understand, yeah, I understand that. Thank you, though, for your service.
Thank you.
Rachel.
And I also would just like to thank you. It was very informative. Every time you've come forward, when you've shared information, it's informative. I'm thrilled of the partnership with Career and Tech Ed across the state. It's great timing with the Perkins 5 plan. Awesome work to move in that direction to help young people understand choices and opportunities. I think we have young people across the state who want to give and who want to provide service. And this is just another avenue that giving them the opportunity to understand what's available and the benefits is great. And so thank you for your service. Thank you for, I didn't know that was a bucket list item to be on the Blackhawk, but it was phenomenal. So thank you for that opportunity as well.
Any other comments? If I could just ask a quick question in regards to the ASVAB initiatives, how is it going in a nutshell? I may ask, in regards to your progress?
It goes pretty well, sir. So typically when we do the ASVAB interps, and for those of you that don't know what the ASVAB interps are, we work through the Military Entry Processing Center in Omaha, and they're kind of the ones that are the administrators of that program. We are proctors, and so what we do is our recruiters will go out and they will proctor the exam. And essentially the ASVAB is really just a skills, but a career aptitude test, if you will. So a student doesn't know what they want to do when they graduate. This kind of shows them what skills they're good at. And then the ASVAB interpretation later on, then one of our recruiters comes in, they sit down with the students that want to sit down and say, okay, here's what your scores mean. A high math score means that you might be good in this career field and so forth. And so that kind of helps the students that maybe don't understand what they want to do find maybe where what they're good at fits with what their skills are in life. And so we work with the schools on that. I could see that probably being an area to expand the knowledge base with the schools. Again, it's free. It costs nothing for the schools to participate in.
Additional to that, sir, we just had a Nebraska school counselors meeting that we participated in. So MEPS really talked about the ASVAB and what we can do. And those school counselors are really the entryway into getting into the schools and getting the ASVAB. So their understanding of what we're trying to provide their students is really what we're trying to get across to the school counselors. So the more we can talk to them, and the more that it's put out through the board and through the avenues that we're trying to go through, the more we can get these students to understand, hey, here's where my career aptitude is.
Thank you very much, Major. And one other point, Skills USA, your participation is just incredible. I'm sure it's paying big dividends for everybody, from the students to the National Guard itself.
We enjoy it. It's a fun event. It's a little bit of coordination, but it's well worth it. And that's, I think, one of the, we're meeting with Carol later on today, and then
Katie.
And Katie. And we're going to talk about some other programs where we might be able to participate in as well.
Well, please keep us informed and involved. Thank you so very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thanks. Thanks.
Thank you.
Welcome Lindsay Hartman, English Language Arts and Science teacher, grades 6 through 8 from St. Patrick Catholic School, Lincoln, Nebraska. Ms. Hartman is the 2019 Nebraska Milken Educator of the Year. A school assembly was held on October 15, where Lieutenant Governor Mike Foley, Dr. Jane Foley, Senior Vice President from the Milken Family Foundation, myself, Patsy Coe-Johns, Ray Ringland, Director of Eastern Nebraska Constituent Services on behalf of U.S. Senator Ben Sass, NDA staff members, veteran Nebraska Milken educators, many other dignitaries and members of the community were present. Ms. Hartman was surprised during the school assembly. At this time, let us watch a short video of the assembly.
Award goes to Lindsay Hartman!
Surprise, surprise. Yeah. Congratulations.
Lindsay.
Thank you.
Lindsay, if we could have you come up forward in front of the board, the commissioner has a special presentation for you, ma'am.
Congratulations, Lindsay. Again, it's good to be able to give you this Not as good as the check, I think, that you got earlier. But congratulations, yeah, very cool. So, thanks for the opportunity to come here and recognize you again, but that's more fun to watch that video. So, congratulations.
If the board members would like a picture with Lindsay, this would be the most opportune time to do it.
Should we do that first and then say a few words? Let's do that.
Okay.
Let's go right up here.
Do our little huddle over here.
All right. Let's have some of you guys move on down this way a little bit, even us out. There we go. Pat, you're hiding. All right. That's good. Yep. Yep. I think we can see everyone now. Hold on. Let me turn off that projector behind you.
I'm being reorganized.
Okay. They didn't like you hiding back there. All right.
How many skateboard members does it take?
Right. All right. Pat, can you stand right next to Patsy? There you go. And then Robin, can you come out this way a little bit? There you go. All right. Rachel, you found a spot?
I have a spot.
All right, we're going to do 3 photos here. 1. All right, we got those. And now I just need one with the commissioner, Lindsay.
Okay.
Yep. All right.
Yeah, please.
You can have your seat back.
Thank you.
Welcome, Ms. Hartman. We appreciate your remarks.
I just want to say thank you to the board for recognizing educators that are doing their job daily. I honestly still don't know what to say. I'm still processing the Milken Award a little bit, but teaching isn't easy. You know, teaching is a difficult job, and you pour your heart into what you do every day. So it's validating, you know, not just for myself, but for other educators that do this work every day, and maybe don't reap a reward quite like this, but they see it every day in their classrooms as they, you know, see their students make progress. You know, that's really the biggest thing. This is icing on the cake, honestly. So I, again, just want to say thank you for the recognition and the platform to make a difference, because that's the best part of my job.
Good. Good for you.
Thank you, Ms. Hartman. Yeah, go ahead.
Lindsay, who did you bring with you today?
With me today, I have Christine Plachek, the principal of St. Patrick. I have Father Troy Schweiger, the pastor of St. Patrick Parish in Lincoln and Havelock. I have Dr. Hecker and Sister Colette from the Diocesan Education Office. Thank you for joining me today.
Also, if we could have the following veteran Nebraska Milken educators come forward, please. Dr. Kenton Mann, 1996 recipient, and Dr. Chris Schneider, 1999 recipient. Please come forward if we could have pictures with you and Ms. Hartman.
I wanted to give you a hug because it's quite a deal. Good for you.
Congratulations again.
Thank you.
A picture?
Yeah.
With us?
Of course.
Please come forward, please.
Yeah, bring your
The Kodak moment.
After I take the pictures.
We need to, like, rehearse these things.
Thanks, Drew. Thank you very much, sir. We will now take a 5-minute scheduled break and reassemble in the boardroom for our additional board agenda items. Thank you. We're now going to go to, if you will, the policy committee action item. So, Patricia, Tim, any comments for the policy committee?
We did not meet this month.
Very good. Legislative committee, Vice President Nichols.
We are not meeting till later.
Commissioners Appraisal Committee, Patricia, Tim.
Yes. We met this morning. The department will be participating in a culture climate survey of all state employees as a part of our continuous improvement process. The survey will allow for comparison to other agencies, and no cost to the agency is anticipated. The tentative timeline for the survey administration is May of 2020. And this is a part of our strategic plan and also a part of the commissioner's goals.
Thank you, Patricia. Thank you. Yeah. good.
Pat, I have a question.
Sure.
This survey will be done anonymously?
Yes.
Thank you.
Lisa Fricke, is there a motion on item 6.13.A?
Yes, sir.
Microphone.
Thank you. Sorry about that. On behalf of the committee, I move to adopt the annual plan for the Nebraska statewide assessment and reporting system.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Rachel. Comments or discussion? Seeing and hearing none. Andrea, please call roll.
Witzel,
Yes.
Stevens,
Yes.
Fricke,
Yes.
Neary,
Yes.
Kojons,
Yes.
Nichols,
Yes.
Wise,
Yes.
Tim.
Yes.
8 yes.
Thank you very much. Maureen, is there a motion on items 6.15.A?
Yes. I move to grant the commissioner the authority to approve the 2019-2020 trust fund budget for NCE-CBVI.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Pat. Any discussion? Seeing and hearing none. Andrea, please call roll.
Nichols,
Yes.
Fricke,
Yes.
Tim,
Yes.
Neary,
Yes.
Wise,
Yes.
Stevens,
Yes.
Kojons,
Yes.
Witzel,
Yes.
8 yes.
Thank you very much, Andrew. In regards to Strategic Planning, Performance, and Improvement Committee, Rachel Wise, is there a motion on item 6.16.A?
Yes, I move approval of the revised community achievement plan for the learning community of Douglas and Sarpy counties.
Is there a
Second.
second? Second by who?
I did.
Oh, Pat, okay. Discussion? Seeing and hearing none. Andrea, please call roll.
Fricke,
Yes.
Tim,
Yes.
Neary,
Yes.
Stevens,
Yes.
Kojons,
Yes.
Nichols,
Yes.
Wise,
Yes.
Witzel,
Yes.
8 yes.
Thank you very much. In regards to board reports, dates, and discussion items, is there a motion to approve meetings that took place in the past that were not previously approved for Lisa Fricke,
So move.
Second.
Rachel, and Mo? Discussion? Seeing and hearing none. Andrea, please call roll.
Neary,
Yes.
Kojons,
Yes.
Fricke,
Abstain.
Nichols,
Yes.
Wise,
Yes.
Stevens,
Yes.
Tim,
Yes.
Witzel,
Yes.
7 yes, 1 abstain.
Thank you very much. Is there a motion to approve meetings that took place in the past that were not previously approved for Patsy Johns?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mo. Discussion? Seeing and hearing none. Andrea, please call roll.
Witzel,
Yes.
Stevens,
Yes.
Wise,
Yes.
Nichols,
Yes.
Fricke,
Yes.
Kojons,
Abstain.
Neary,
Yes.
Tim,
Yes.
7 yes, 1 abstain.
Thank you, Andrea. Is there a motion to approve meetings that took place in the past that were not previously approved for Maureen Nichols?
So move.
Rachel? Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Patsy. Discussion? Seeing and hearing none. Andrea, please call roll.
Neary,
Yes?
Kojons,
Yes.
Nichols,
Abstain.
Stevens,
Yes.
Witzel,
Yes.
Tim,
Yes.
Wise,
Yes.
Fricky.
Yes.
7 yes, 1 abstain.
Thank you, Andrea. Is there a motion to approve meetings that took place in the past that were not previously approved for Rachel Wise?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Lisa and Patsy. Discussion? Seeing and hearing none. Andrea, please call roll.
Nichols,
Yes.
Kojons,
Yes.
Fricky,
Yes.
Witzel,
Yes.
Tim,
Yes.
Wise,
Abstain.
Stevens,
Yes.
Neary.
Yes.
7 yes, 1 abstain.
Thank you, Andrea. Is there a motion to approve the future meetings participation?
So move.
Second.
Rachel and Mo. Discussion? Seeing and hearing none. Andrea, please call roll.
Nichols,
Yes.
Neary,
Yes.
Fricky,
Yes.
Wise,
Yes.
Tim,
Yes.
Stevens,
Yes.
Witzel,
Yes.
Kojons.
Yes.
8 yes.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Andrea. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the action items except for the cases that we're going to be, if you will, reviewing when our additional members show up. So take a break till 10. The State Board will now come back into session. Thank you very much. We'll begin with the hearings. The following information applies to each of the following cases of the Nebraska Professional Practices cases being heard today. For each case, the board has been provided with the record of the Nebraska Professional Practices Commission's proceedings containing the findings of facts, conclusions of law, and recommendation of the commission. All of the pleadings, exhibits, and a written transcript of the NPPC hearing are marked by State Board as Exhibit 1. The notice of disposition hearing and certified return receipts are marked as Exhibit 2. These exhibits are received in each case. The board will also receive the written testimony marked Exhibit 3 in NDE case number 19-28, Commissioner versus Graff. We will first hear from the representative of the NPPC, then the petitioner, and finally a representative of the respondent. Each representative will be given 10 minutes to present his or her statements. The board will not receive any additional evidence or testimony beyond that contained in the exhibits previously referenced. We'll continue on to case 19-24. The State Board of Education is prepared to consider the disposition of case number 19-24, Commissioner versus Olivia LeBlanc. Will the representative of the Professional Practices Commission please come forward and be seated and identify yourself?
Good morning. I'm Kelly Mothersbaugh. I'm here representing the Nebraska Professional Practices Commission on the matter of Matthew L. Bloomstead versus Olivia LeBlanc. Beginning on or after August 16, 2018, the respondent did not adhere to the terms of her teaching contract with the Lincoln Public Schools for the remainder of the 2018-2019 school year. The commission deliberated on the facts before it and recommends to the State Board of Education that the respondent's certificate be suspended for a period of 1 year.
Thank you very much. Does any board member have any questions of the clerk? If not, thank you very much. Will the petitioner please come forward, be seated, and identify yourself?
Sarah Hulak, on behalf of Commissioner of Education, Dr. Matt Bloomstead, petitioner in this matter. We are in support of the Professional Practices Commission's recommendation as is consistent with prior precedent and the facts and the record warrants the recommended sanction in this matter. I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
Does any board member have any questions of the petitioner? Will the thank you very much. Will the respondent please come forward, be seated, and identify yourself? The record will reflect that the respondent did not appear. This proceeding is now closed. The board will make a determination of this matter at a later time in this meeting today. We will now move on to case number 19-25. The State Board of Education is prepared to consider the disposition of case number 19-25, Commissioner versus Brandon Stickley. Will the representative of the Professional Practices Commission please come forward, be seated, and identify yourself?
Kelly Mothersbaugh, representing the Nebraska Professional Practices Commission on the matter of Matthew L. Bloomstead versus Brandon Stickley. On or about July 12, 2018, in the Hall County Court, Nebraska, the respondent was charged with solicitation of prostitution, a misdemeanor. On February 8, 2019, the respondent was found guilty of the above charge, and on March 13, 2019, the respondent was sentenced to a $300 fine. The commission deliberated on the facts before it and recommends to the State Board of Education the respondent's certificate be revoked for a period of 2 years.
Thank you very much. Does any board member have any questions of the clerk? Thank you very much. Will the petitioner please come forward, be seated, and identify yourself?
Sarah Hulak, on behalf of Commissioner of Education, Dr. Matt Bloomstead, petitioner in this matter. We are in support of the Professional Practices Commission's recommendation as it is consistent with prior precedent and the facts and record warrant the recommended sanction in this matter. I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Does any board member have any questions of the petitioner? Thank you very much. Will the respondent please come forward, be seated, and identify yourself? The record will reflect the respondent did not appear. This proceeding is now closed. The board will make a determination in this matter later in our meeting today. In regards to NDE case number 19-26, the State Board of Education is prepared to consider the disposition of case number 19-26, Commissioner versus Audie Mayberry. Will the representative of the Professional Practices Commission please come forward, be seated, and identify yourself.
Kelly Mothersbaugh, representing the Nebraska Professional Practices Commission on the matter of Matthew L. Bloomstead versus Addie Mayberry. Beginning on or after August 6, 2018, the respondent did not adhere to the terms of her teaching contract with the Lincoln Public Schools for the 2018-2019 school year. The commission deliberated on the facts before it and recommends to the State Board of Education the respondent's certificate be suspended for a period of 1 year.
Thank you, ma'am. Does any board member have any questions of the clerk? Will the petitioner please come forward, be seated, and identify yourself, please?
Sarah Hulak, on behalf of the Commissioner of Education, Dr. Matt Bloomstead, petitioner in this matter. We are in support of the Professional Practices Commission's recommendation as it is consistent with prior precedent, and the facts and record warrant the recommended sanction in this matter. I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Does any board member have any questions of the petitioner? Thank you. Will the respondent please come forward, be seated, and identify yourself? The record will reflect that the respondent did not appear. This proceeding is now closed. The board will make a determination in this matter later in our meeting today. The State Board of Education is prepared to consider the disposition of case number 19-27, Commissioner versus Tegan Dislage. Will the representative of the Professional Practices Commission please come forward, be seated, and identify yourself?
Kelly Mothersbaugh, representing the Nebraska Professional Practices Commission on the matter of Matthew L. Bloomstead versus Tegan Dinslage. Beginning on or after October 17, 2018, the respondent did not adhere to the terms of her teaching contract with the Lincoln Public Schools for the remainder of the 2018-2019 school year. The commission deliberated on the facts before it and recommends to the State Board of Education the respondent's certificate be suspended for a period of 1 year.
Does any board member have any questions of the clerk? Thank you, ma'am. Will the petitioner please come forward, be seated, and identify yourself?
Sarah Hulak, on behalf of the Commissioner of Education, Dr. Matt Bloomstead, petitioner in this matter. We are in support of the Professional Practices Commission's recommendation as it is consistent with prior precedent and the facts and record warrant the proposed sanction in this matter. And I'm happy to answer any questions that you
Does
have.
any board member have any questions of the petitioner? Thank you. Will the respondent please come forward, be seated, and identify yourself? The record will reflect the respondent did not appear. This proceeding is now closed. The board will make a determination in this matter later in our meeting today. The State Board of Education is prepared to consider the disposition of case number 19-28, Commissioner versus Andrew Graff. Will the representative of the Professional Practices Commission please come forward, be seated, and identify yourself?
Kelly Mothersbaugh, representing the Nebraska Professional Practices Commission on the matter of Matthew L. Bloomstead versus Andrew Graff. On August 1st, 2018, the Texas State Board of Educators certification took action against the respondent's certificate, equivalent to a 1-year revocation under Nebraska law, finding that the respondent engaged in inappropriate discipline with a disruptive student. The respondent failed to report the Texas State Board of Educators certification action to the Nebraska Department of Education. The commission deliberated on the facts before it and recommends to the State Board of Education the respondent's certificate be revoked for a period of 1 year.
Does any board member have any questions of the clerk? Thank you. Will the petitioner please come forward, be seated, and identify yourself?
Sarah Hulak, on behalf of the Commissioner of Education, Dr. Matt Bloomstead, petitioner in this matter. We are in support of the Professional Practices Commission's recommendation as it is consistent with prior precedent and the facts and record warrant the proposed sanction in this matter. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you very much. Does any board member have any questions of the petitioner? Thank you. Will the respondent please come forward, be seated, and identify yourself? The record will reflect the respondent did not appear. This proceeding is now closed. The board will make a determination in this matter later in our meeting today. State Board of Education is prepared to consider the disposition of case number 19-29, Commissioner versus Sean Applegate. Will the representative of the Professional Practices Commission please come forward, be seated, and identify yourself?
Kelly Mothersbaugh, representing the Nebraska Professional Practices Commission on the matter of Matthew L. Bloomstead versus Sean Applegate. On July 14, 2017, information was filed in the Lancaster County District Court charging, excuse me, the respondent with sexual assault of a child, first degree, a Class 1B felony. On July 30, 2018, an amended information was filed. Pursuant to a plea agreement, the respondent pled no contest and was found guilty of attempted sexual assault in the first degree, a felony, and felony child abuse. The commission deliberated on the facts before it and recommends to the State Board of Education the respondent's certificate be permanently revoked.
Thank you. Does any board member have any questions of the clerk? Thank you, ma'am. Will the petitioner please come forward, be seated, and identify yourself?
Sarah Hulak, on behalf of the Commissioner of Education, Dr. Matt Bloomstead, petitioner in this matter. We are in support of the recommendations as the facts and record warrant the proposed sanction. I'm happy to answer any questions you have.
Does any board member have any questions of the petitioner? Thank you. Will the respondent please come forward, be seated, and identify yourself? The record will reflect the respondent did not appear. This proceeding is now closed. The board will make a determination in this matter later in our meeting today. The State Board of Education is prepared to consider the disposition of case number 19-30, Commissioner versus Vance Winter. Will the representative of the Professional Practices Commission please come forward, be seated, and identify yourself?
Kelly Mothersbaugh, representing the Nebraska Professional Practices Commission on the matter of Matthew L. Bloomstead versus Vance Winter. The respondent did not adhere to the terms of his teaching contract with Seward Public Schools for the 2018-2019 school year after resigning during the middle of the school year and not reporting for work after January 20th, 2019. The commission deliberated on the facts before it and recommends to the State Board of Education the respondent's certificate be suspended for a period of 1 year.
Does any board member have any questions of the clerk? Thank you. Will the petitioner please come forward, be seated, and identify yourself?
Sarah Hulak, on behalf of the Commissioner of Education, Dr. Matt Bloomstead, petitioner in this matter. We are in support of the Professional Practices recommendation, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you have.
Does any board member have any questions of the petitioner? Will the respondent please come forward, be seated, and identify yourself? The record will reflect the respondent did not appear. This proceeding is now closed. The board will make a determination in this matter later in our meeting today. The State Board of Education is prepared to consider the disposition of case number 19-31, Commissioner versus Daniel Sitch. Will the representative of the Professional Practices Commission please come forward, be seated, and identify yourself?
Kelly Mothersbaugh, representing the Nebraska Professional Practices Commission on the matter of Matthew L. Bloomstead versus Daniel Sitch. On February 25th, 2019, an amended complaint was filed and the respondent was found guilty of child abuse negligent, a Class 1 misdemeanor. On March 25th, 2019, the respondent was sentenced to 90 days jail and 24 months of probation. The commission deliberated on the facts before it and recommends to the State Board of Education the respondent's certificate be revoked for a period of 5 years.
Does any board member have any questions of the clerk? Thank you, ma'am. Will the petitioner please come forward, be seated, and identify yourself?
Sarah Hulak, on behalf of the Commissioner of Education, Dr. Matt Bloomstead, petitioner in this matter. We are in support of the Professional Practices Commission's recommendation as is consistent with prior precedent. I am happy to answer any questions that you have.
Does any board member have any questions of the petitioner? Thank you.
Thank you.
Will the respondent please come forward, be seated, and identify yourself? The record will reflect the respondent did not appear. This proceeding is now closed. The board will make a determination in this matter in our meeting today. With that, is there a motion to go into executive session?
Yes, I move that we go into executive session.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Patsy. Discussion? Andrea, please call roll.
Neary,
Yes.
Fricky,
Yes.
Wise,
Yes.
Tim,
Yes.
Witzel,
Yes.
Stevens,
Yes.
Nichols,
Yes.
Kojons.
Yes.
8 yes.
Thank you very much. The board will now go directly into our conference room for the executive session. And this only to
Yes, I move that we come out of executive session.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Pat. Any discussion? Andrea, please call roll.
Wise,
Yes.
Fricky,
Yes.
Neary,
Yes.
Tim,
Yes.
Kojons,
Yes.
Nichols,
Yes.
Stevens,
Yes.
Witzel.
Yes.
8 yes.
Thank you very much, Andrea. Rachel, is there a motion on item 6.1 in NDE case number 19-24?
Yes, I move in Commissioner versus Olivia LeBlanc, NDE case number 19-24, that this board adopt the findings of fact, conclusions of law, and the recommendation of the Nebraska Professional Practices Commission suspending respondent's teaching certificate for 1 year and to adopt the final order proposed by legal counsel.
Is there a second?
I second that motion.
Motion was made by Rachel and seconded by Patsy. Is there any discussion on this motion? Seeing and hearing none. Andrea, please call roll.
Neary,
Yes.
Fricky,
Yes.
Nichols,
Yes.
Stevens,
Yes.
Wise,
Yes.
Kojons,
Yes.
Witzel,
Yes.
Tim,
Yes.
8 yes.
Thank you, Andrea. Patricia, Tim, is there a motion on item 6.2 in NDE case number 19-25?
Yes. I move in Commissioner versus Brandon Stickley, NDE case number 19-25, that this board adopt the findings of fact, conclusions of law, and the recommendation of the Nebraska Professional Practices Commission revoking the respondent's teaching certificate for a period of 2 years and to adopt the final order proposed by legal counsel.
Thank you, Patricia. Is there a second?
Yes. Second.
Motion was made by Pat Tim, seconded by Deb Neary. Is there any discussion on this motion? Seeing and hearing none. Andrea, please call roll.
Witzel,
Yes.
Tim,
Yes.
Stevens,
Yes.
Kojons,
Yes.
Nichols,
Yes.
Fricky,
Yes.
Wise,
Yes.
Neary,
Yes.
8 yes.
Thank you very much. Lisa Fricky, is there a motion on item 6.3 in NDE case number 19-26?
Yes, sir. I move in Commissioner versus Addie Mayberry, NDE case number 1926, excuse me, that this board adopt the findings of fact and conclusions of law and the recommendation of the Nebraska Professional Practices Commission suspending the respondent's teaching permit for 1 year, and to adopt the final order proposed by legal counsel.
Thank you, Lisa. Is there a second?
Second.
The motion was made by Lisa Fricky and seconded by Patsy Kojan. Is there any discussion on this motion? Seeing and hearing none. Andrea, please call roll.
Neary,
Yes.
Fricky,
Yes.
Witzel,
Yes.
Nichols,
Yes.
Stevens,
Yes.
Tim,
Yes.
Kojons,
Yes.
Wise,
Yes.
8 yes.
Thank you very much. Rachel Wise, is there a motion on item 6.4 at NDE case number 19-27?
Yes, I move in Commissioner versus Teagan and Dinslage, NDE case number 19-27, that this board adopt the findings of fact, conclusions of law, and the recommendation of the Nebraska Professional Practices Commission suspending respondent's teaching certificate for 1 year and to adopt the final order proposed by legal counsel.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Patsy Kojan. The motion was made by Rachel Wise and seconded by Patsy Kojan. Is there any discussion on the motion? Seeing and hearing none. Andrea, please call roll.
Fricky,
Yes.
Kojons,
Yes.
Stevens,
Yes.
Wise,
Yes.
Nichols,
Yes.
Neary,
Yes.
Witzel,
Yes.
Tim,
Yes.
8 yes.
Thank you very much. Deb Neary, is there a motion on item 6.5 in NDE case number 19-28?
Yes, I move in the Commissioner versus Andrew Graff, NDE case number 19-28, that this board adopt the findings of fact, conclusions of law, and the recommendation of the Nebraska Professional Practices Commission revoking respondent's teaching certificate for 1 year and to adopt the final order proposed by legal counsel.
Thank you very much. Is there a second? second by Robin Stevens. Motion was made by Deb Neary, seconded by Robin Stevens. Is there any discussion on this motion? Seeing and hearing none. Andrea, please call roll.
Tim,
Yes.
Witzel,
Yes.
Wise,
Yes.
Stevens,
Yes.
Neary,
Yes.
Fricky,
Yes.
Kojons,
Yes.
Nichols.
Yes.
8 yes.
Thank you. Patricia Tim, is there a motion on item 6.6 in NDE case number 19-20?
Yes. Excuse me. I move in Commissioner versus Sean Applegate, NDE case number 19-29, that this board adopt the findings of fact, conclusions of law, and the recommendation of the Nebraska Professional Practices Commission, permanently revoking the respondent's teaching certificate and to adopt the final order proposed by legal counsel.
Thank you.
Second.
Second by Lisa. Motion was made by Pat Tim and seconded by Lisa Fricky. Is there any discussion? Seeing and hearing none. Andrea, please call roll.
Neary,
Yes.
Kojons,
Yes.
Stevens,
Yes.
Tim,
Yes.
Fricky,
Yes.
Nichols,
Yes.
Wise,
Yes.
Witzel.
Yes.
8 yes.
Thank you. Rachel Wise, is there a motion on item 6.7 in NDE case number 19-30?
Yes, I move in Commissioner versus Vance Winter, NDE case number 19-30, that this board adopt the findings of fact, conclusions of law, and the recommendation of the Nebraska Professional Practices Commission, suspending respondent's teaching certificate for 1 year, and to adopt the final order proposed by legal counsel.
Thank you, Rachel. Is there a second?
I second that motion.
Second by, motion was made by Rachel Wise and seconded by Patsy Kojons. Is there any discussion on this motion? Seeing and hearing none. Andrea, please call roll.
Wise,
Yes.
Stevens,
Yes.
Tim,
Yes.
Witzel,
Yes.
Nichols,
Yes.
Fricky,
Yes.
Kojons,
Yes.
Neary.
Yes.
8 yes.
Thank you, Andrew. Patricia Tim, is there a motion on item 6.8 in NDE case number 19-31?
Yes. I move in Commissioner versus Daniel NDE case number 19-31, that this board adopt the findings of fact, conclusions of law, and the recommendation of the Nebraska Professional Practices Commission, revoking the respondent's teaching certificate for a period of 5 years, and to adopt the final order proposed by legal counsel. Second.
Second. Motion was made by Pat Tim, seconded by Robert Stevens. Is there any discussion on this motion?
The number is 1932 for that case, for the record. Or isn't that?
1931.
Oh, sorry. That we said that. I looked
Okay,
in the wrong
thank
place.
you.
Sorry about that.
Okay. Okay. As I said, we haven't, the motion was made by Pat Tim, seconded by Robin Stevens. Discussion. Andrew, please call roll.
Neary,
Yes.
Fricky,
Yes.
Wise,
Yes.
Stevens,
Yes.
Tim,
Yes.
Witzel,
Yes.
Nichols,
Yes.
Kojons,
Yes.
8 yes.
Thank you very much. Robin Stevens, is there a motion on item 6.9?
Yes. I move in Commissioner versus Kyle Sendall, NDE case number 19-32, that this board approve the proposed settlement agreement in which the parties have stipulated to a 5-year revocation of the respondent's teaching certificate and to adopt the final order proposed by legal counsel.
Second.
Second by Pat Tim. The motion was made by Robin Stevens and seconded by Patricia Tim. Any discussion? Seeing and hearing none. Andrea, please call roll.
Witzel,
Yes.
Stevens,
Yes.
Nichols,
Yes.
Fricky,
Yes.
Neary,
Yes.
Kojons,
Yes.
Wise,
Yes.
Tim.
Yes.
8 yes.
Thank you, Andrew. The next items are, thank you very much, Counselor.
we're supposed to pass these, turn these in.
Yes.
Yes.
They need to be shredded.
Oh, I guess they want.
Thank you. See you.
They need to be shredded.
Have a good holiday.
You too.
We're just about to adjourn. The next items are information items and written reports for the board and for other information only. Do you have anything, Commissioner, that you? With that, we'll go to adjournment. Thank you for those who tuned into the broadcast. A 2020 annual orientation will be held on Thursday, January 9th at a time to be determined. A business meeting will be held on Friday, January 10th at 9 a.m. in this room. The December State Board meeting is now adjourned. Thank you.